And that's okay. The I'm just gonna go a bigger screen for now since I don't see anybody in Zoom.
Way back in what? How many months? Because I haven't done. Winter, my name is Maggie Blanco. I'm the assistant in Florida. We were formerly for Beach County, that's not the center. We've got blood. We started off anything but their indigenous mothers because we stayed home from work for kind of mentors some of our students. I them through the business, and so they're able to teach a food bank that was after the pandemic. And Tuesdays to Friday, our chairman of our board of leaders and app leaders and app. We have CF access, so medication being face stations. We assist people to and we cancer prevention for women. We have a patient navigator who as that can be director and our in different lot of friends who might be thinking, but was might not be able to come in person. Or we're not even close after school, which is information from you. Yeah, that would be fantastic. A lot of our children are really behind, so we don't tutor them with the homework that they bring from school. We tutor them from their grade level, so really we're just trying to catch them. No, all like this. I'm Guatemalan, but you can always call the center.
How many people sign?
The names of the people, staff. We certainly think I would say is the food pantry, the food, Palm Beach food bank, anything else, right? The food bank that donates from the food.
I don't know if you folks know that every Saturday morning on L Street, just south of Lake Avenue.
Because people do work 6 or 7 years to be able to, just volunteer to provide other services that we might not have. So, for example, we're starting a GD program in January at the center, and that's going to be volunteer run as well by a volunteer of all these people. We also do a lot. There's and the funding, right? Exactly, to be our most effective tool, not just send a lot of the indigenous languages, Portuguese, a lot of the time. So that's one of the ways that we're able to is major. And then the other things that come to us or are sent to us are ordinal proof of address, and that's proven that we're doing domestic violence, therapy. If they documented or does it easier to be central, definitely just leave out because of the zoning. So the zoning is to buy a building, and certainly a big use. We have a massage table that permitted social service agents. We permitted social service agents. We have
the CR from the hatch, let me in another.
We've identified a couple in Lakewood, and we were able.
The
Is 15.
The
Is 15 on to help us identify there. The city outreach all needs to be looking for one building to have their own facilities. But those are Lutheran church.
So you're already doing that.
Yeah, we're already.
11,000 people you see directly from Lakewood Beach.
Oh, yeah. Because sometimes they can't find services in their area. I would say approximately.
And the organization stay local.
And we see that with a lot of our people still don't have a cab ride over to, and we are on the remaining building actually. We can't buy a mechanic. I think we might have been grandfathered. Any other questions? I think we have a bigger pot actually.
We had a big event.
Ukrainians, because I know there was a lot of Ukrainians coming.
We serve anybody who walks through our doors. We didn't get very many Ukrainians, but yes, we the tribal mob or we'll go. Right now we're also doing a thing that was very generous and we pull $1,000. Currently don't.
So I suppose
Then they will drop them. That's where they
biggest fundraisers, future events that we could.
It's our Fiesta San Miguel. It's our had a different fundraisers challenge, so we could fundraise money for it. Yeah, but we don't have it to pay for now. Guys, the opportunity found their interest. We with our after school, it's a pretty popular program. Clinic. So it just depends. We'll always. They're spread out. Grade, Forest Hill. We have a link with almost every school, and our job is to bring access there. Could use a little work. Is on call 24 for individual phones, and everybody's on call. Parent-child plus the parents outreach they work with will go do outreach specifically to the information of potential shelters. A lot of the time shelters don't come out until navigate like if you're pregnant, they speak mom, and then post story we will call over temporary placement. Definitely work our team pretty hard, but we are lucky that maybe. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
For cards, and then Jamie, Public Works and like what you do, and if anyone has any questions or
Leaving your Lakewood Beach has trash, recycling, and beer, which we're dealing with right now. Costa Rica has the entire city, basically everything that you see. The streets, obviously, whether it's potholes or miscollection, other things found in the park, really on the Greenway, but it's just a constant type of thing. So I just like to come to these meetings and make sure that the public works are accessible in the city. And keep these are pretty accessible. I'm always here. Job, our community, to make sure that. So that's what
And put a lot of stuff out on the streets for
I'm in charge of. Email, all forms of social media, days leading up to the storm, during the storm, after the storm, all these updates go out. But it seems like as soon as the storm is 3-4 days out, everyone's like, okay, we're calling landscapers, we're clearing our whole backyard of the storm. We have high tide and everything as well, citywide, to get ready when the storm's coming. So a lot of people do vegetables projectiles in the storm. And so we have to go out and collect all that before it's done. Because I also will jam up the properties. We do collect it, and a lot of the reason for the citation is especially if it's not a scheduled collection like you're closest to us. So it's not free negatively when it comes. It's not what we want the stuff. I just want the stuff out of my. I just want it out of my yard. Now it's out of my yard. It's can't say the Wild West.
There was something in the water that sprouted couches. Well, it's funny, I had to make an admission here. I live on South Elm Street. And I had a couch and a love seat. In good shape when I got into one. But I knew what would happen. I'm driving down the street, the homeless problem, the trash in the street, I think
It's all there, and we do the best we can. And, we have only a certain number of staff. We mentioned staffing and everything. And that includes all 6 divisions.
We won't get it off your hands quickly because we always give somebody something that we would. Each appointment, they just take what they need. And usually every day that we put something out, it's gone the same day. Especially like baby items. For then adult clothes is a little take everything and we just give it a talking a list of 5,000 plus right now, and it grows every single day because anybody who comes for intake, anybody who comes for services, we do an intake and we ask if they want the information.
Now, are you guys on these cities?
There's a lot to use that.
Yeah, they've gotten really good over the years.
Yeah, that Wi-Fi is accessible. Literacy levels aren't there. I mean, if we don't have the
Other than that, so the 4-year bond program, we finished up. It's that the bond. They're getting us more and more money, and ideally, 75 pothole is just like a constant band-aid. Band-aid until we get around to the point where we're actually repairing the road itself. And then that other 20, and then it starts falling. You get past like that. City outside, about 7 square miles, 47 inches. Street between second, third, fourth, and fifth. So each one of those segments has an actual grade. And the other issue with, so we have to pour a lot of our ground. And how thick your asphalt is, and go another 10 feet, it's going to be completely different. Because, a lot of roads are all sugar free. And that's just not possible.
as you're doing it and
Yeah, we use all recorded like it should have been for years. It doesn't really affect, so I started kind of modifying and editing. It was a matter of creating. Step one.
But there was
Because a lot of places you go, it's already done.
TRNA high below, so
You was done, you have all the information. We didn't have it. Why that is, I'm not sure.
you didn't have that in throughout the city, or is it?
That's why we need some stuff we're just now creating to put this stuff in place. But the good idea is to keep building on. But it's like you can't keep building.
So we find ourselves in a lot of situations that have been coming up over the years. Short-term rentals, maybe. We've never been a forward-thinking investor. Building a drive-through, and offices, it was just full this 1950s wood lovely building. And they let it sit, and we didn't, when we sold it, and there's town meetings, and we have to talk about something. We're blessed that we got to talk about it. And that's a one-shot deal.
Money on it? That's something to do.
And we could never take it over the apartment houses that are going up now, there's a pretty big space. So that's because we are something that could be but it's
There's just a dad on that. So you know, historically, we're definitely not really serious. Definitely not. The one good thing I like about it, it's not an excuse. That may be true, and it's that kind of resilient mindset. And when you're driving home, you're driving over potholes.
I don't know about you, but since I was elected, I'm getting to see staff from the other side of the day. So it's been, we have an incredibly good team.
Where to call, and we have no problem routing it to the right place. Because sometimes, depending on what the situation is, it could be here. I guess it's like just call all the courts. The storm's coming. They need to call. So it's just sometimes. It's me.
Okay, I know I'm concerned about. Okay, so I'm actually legally blind. Okay, I have like, I don't see shadows out of this eye. Stay on that side because you're over my street. Because I'm going to public. And
So this is
after the houses.
multiple code cases on the place, and it's basically we pass them out, and then it's
Spot where I have, there's a bush that's growing.
Is that on second as well?
Yes.
The sidewalk, not even the asphalt. I got $1 million. So, but unfortunately, curbing going through and definitely removing in areas where, and unfortunately, a lot of times it's on private property. People have just planted trees or something way too close to the sidewalk, and it was as much as possible. We do love our trees.
Public, so if I'm going to Family Dollar and I'm going around the circle, going down, I go down to that little circle because I try to avoid the big circle. I lean in some of the driveways. Yeah.
It's at Lakewood Beach, FL.12. And I wrote it on your sign-in sheet, as well as the
Sorry, would you repeat your name? Can you say
I-
it again?
my Beach FL.12. And my cell is 561. 7, that's why I'm always here.
So be kind.
You know, it's not only going to be between like 8 and 5, and you need to call people in, you do it every day. I always give my cell number. At night, I'm not going to be in my office. I pass that out to all the Tropical Ridge. There's also on the absolutely. The Tropical Ridge and Tropical Ridge. I do not have all that memorized.
PS3 is Banana Republic
Oh, I got
and
it.
North Sea Street.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, so
My
decades of deferred maintenance, tourism, patch, and facilities. I don't know how it's even to start to sing until we took one we can actually repay. And that's scary, bro.
30 years ago, 40 years, not getting the plans, to get the belongings that make things. And my love, as Willie said, whoa, let's pick it up and actually, not just have stuff. Things are
little patient. It's just you can't make all that up. It would be amazing. But I don't know
Somebody's
if we
running
have.
the lottery.
I'm trying.
I'll do my best.
I'm coming with that request. But yeah, like I said, if any,
Say it in the universe, you know, people say,
There's like you riding around town Avenue, and I did call down there, and it was fixed like in here.
Oh, that's great. That's good. That's good.
Because I did get around the
yeah, no, I would enjoy it if I would. So, I do like to people call. You have to email. I mean, if it's not in my department or it's not me, I can at least get to who it is and really shorten that process. And probably when I was home last Christmas, my parents were having some issues, so I'm calling, to Indianapolis, and I'm doing the same thing, getting kind of bounced around. I'm like, this is frustrating. When you don't really know the right.
I would love for us to have one number with one person who knows as much as you do, who then steers the call out.
Yeah.
Oh, here's your. She's going to get an assistant soon. An assistant. She's not an assistant.
But that's why typically when I do neighborhood meetings, I always get our public works office number, one of my cell numbers, because I have this issue. And no problem, you can say, well, if it's electric related, call this number. And we'll get. I put the office number in the town. Office manager there. I'll call them. Call and reach out to because they can see everything. But that could be 2 weeks from now. So. Of course. Absolutely. It does not receive text, though. Looking at changing that at some point.
Good to know.
Hey, I texted you a photo of this here. Delete.
Vision and B Street.
And which people,
That's in B Street. So the technical action committee there for that should be our liaison. We've got citywide ADA ramps. So one of the things you mentioned before, a lot of the ramp issues, everything about the city, we're basically going, and everywhere we have not, we're doing all those. Whether they're missing a ramp, we're missing the yellow tactile dome mat, they don't meet code as far as the slope is to 0 complete streets. When you look at some of the projects we did from the bond program, one of the bulb outs you're seeing, the little concrete bulb outs as you're approaching the intersection, those were done mainly into the intersection to see past a car parked right at the stop sign, and it was always a dangerous situation. So we put those in not only because that's what we're trying when it's open, it's just a safer when it made sense. So basically everything speed in itself and seeing what type of traffic calming measures make sense there. And the bad part is, we're kind of a traditionally laid out city. So it's always interesting trying to make things do stop signs, mailbox, driveway. Now you're driving up. It's a matter of kind of looking at all the efficiency.
yeah, have one on C. You connect here at all, and I have to come here with.
You put down thermoplastic. It doesn't wear like everything's spaced. It has to be a certain width. Like they're usually, if they're just kind of chevrons leading up to the speed bump itself, it has to be a certain number of feet out, and they're usually 8 inches wide.
It's on C Street, just a couple blocks in.
Okay.
Oh, I guess I was also curious along with that, are you going to kind of coordinate the Vision Zero, I guess, unless something's...
It's going to be much better to do for roads. I think it's still the back of sidewalk, the back of sidewalk. The back of sidewalk's the property line. Once you go beyond that back of sidewalk, you're on private property. So you only have a dedicated amount, and then is it a one-way or a two-way? If it's when you go all of a sudden, well, why can't you put a bike lane? Well, 5. So it's one of those things where it's kind of a number game, depending on the segments that you're looking at. You fit within that ability to kind of spread horizontally, which is why a lot of development you're seeing is it's you're redeveloping an existing property, but we back right up, to the west. So, we will be limited on what we can do complete streetwise, unless we're going to do a complete redesign of that particular area. One of the areas between Lake and 6th Avenue South, and the little rectangle there. And then you have a one-way south, which allows you to look at dedicated bike lanes, which is concerned. That gives you the ability to do that. Now you have much more rivalry.
Yeah, that sounds good.
If we
One
increase
thing-
our canopy, we're looking at a lot of pedestrians. We have a lot of people walk, obviously, especially downtown. It seems like it's enormous. That's a big part of
Trees
what
will
we're
help
looking at as well.
that, for sure.
Is to what can we do to create more shade? It's not golf.
Well, the funny thing is, when
So they didn't want a big growth field to the roof. It wasn't a canopy, we're camping, so actually
It's basically just changing the mindset from being vehicles that we
Yeah.
scooter. Is that a scooter who's not in a vehicle? And that
Shift from a few.
It helps some.
Uh-huh.
you kind of have that. But before we didn't have anything. So now it's just kind of one of the before where there's just nothing. You got to kind of remind you there are probably going to be bikes.
That reminds me, most of the bike lanes in the city, I find to be mostly useless because they're right next to parked cars.
and they're very narrow.
And so if anybody opens a car door, where am I going to go?
Yeah.
That's what
You'll
we're
be
And if
a-
there's a car
You're never
passing
gonna
me,
have a bike
Sure, because like I said, if you're doing a bike lane properly, you really need, it needs to be a buffered bike lane.
yeah.
So you have that buffer, slam,
Mhm.
which is happening.
And really, there should be a, or put it by the sidewalk.
They put the
Yep.
parked ones out in the bike lane between the park and the sidewalk.
Mm-hmm.
But
The buffer is still. I
I
think Lake and Lucerne long term are
Remember, they're starting Lake and Lucerne. Yeah, Lucerne.
using the car lanes though.
From
On Dixie they are.
Yeah, on Dixie, yes, but not on Lake and Lucerne, as far as I know.
not only Lake Lucerne, those are still
But-
two lanes.
Lucerne. But it could be arranged in some, but bicycles and pedestrians, wider
The problem
space.
with that is going to be the traffic counts, for Apple Street. You would not be able to use it.
Let's have this conversation. Two down and one more, just that, whatever, not
bike.
A bicycle.
When we think about the Guatemala, say these people need cars.
Or they
Or-
need a better way to get around.
Or alternate ways.
Yeah.
Um,
It's
Uh-huh.
they have been determined to make Dixie Highway different than it is now. Are they still on that? The turn lane, the suicide lane,
To other municipalities and a lot of experience I've had, just the 20 years I've been. They are working with us more than I've seen. Even like none of that. It's kind of one of those things that if we, we'd asked about traffic calming measures, how to make it safer, with someone in the speed limit. What would we do about that?
Can I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it possible to maybe make that a little bit longer?
But we can certainly make, a lot of roads are not ours, make noise to the county.
Roadways, but the county does all the signals. So get questions or comments on anything, just like the director for all of county traffic, reach out to him, okay, we have an issue here, and it gets dealt with pretty quickly. We did one actually in Chocolate Ridge up at
It's
That
not the
corner is
timing, it's
never
not the
gonna-
timing, it's want to turn left, you can't,
oh,
and you're fighting, I don't think, it's a part really good, it's just,
there was once upon a time, actually there were a couple of times, as part of the site plan review, we were actually requiring that they give up a portion of their property on the lease for the length of their property, a little bit to alleviate just some of that congestion a little bit, so you get the through. Yeah, it would be more, obviously, we could go three across there, we got to dedicate the left and right to the through, so we'd more than likely get dedicated to left. Yep, that whole intersection, and you have the buses right there, so it's like, what do we?
Look at the timings.
Sorry, but jotting down here, these meetings. Who does it?
At the transportation planning and reaction. Control, but
And
then
we
we
have
have to
control of
fix
the
it.
one. The problem was we knew they needed to be done completely within the next few years. And then when basically it's a fraction. There was there was a prior, say, you know, it makes no sense. On
And
B
not
Street
in
to go off
condition.
field. In, exactly, not in perfect
We don't
condition.
do as is purchases.
And
And if they offer or we ask to take them over, we might consider it.
But at
that would be the
what
time to
benefit would
actually
we
look
have?
at that, but that would be the time to actually do it. We would look at the traffic circle, all the golf, you look at downtown, more pedestrian friendly, more space for outdoor cafes, stuff like that. And then, so there are a couple of different options.
What are they gonna do? Are they resurfacing? Are they rebuilding from scratch? Are they redesigning?
They're milling and resurfacing. So what they're gonna do is they're basically gonna cut, you know, half the payment down.
Is the base pretty good on those?
Yes. Yeah, this is good. So they're gonna address all that at the same time as they're doing this project. And then separate the upkeep project, one basically pick up the B Street, they're starting with that bridge. And we're adding, the foot traffic, pedestrian signal there. So, yeah, there's a lot of DOT work that's gonna be happening in this whole Lucerne corridor, which is good to see because
If you know how some of them just they took that grading and just laid it down, and is there a way to put
I'm like doing the citywide ADA ramps. That's gonna correct, because we didn't want to be within the neighborhoods, like on Second, you're talking about anything like that. It just replace the ramp itself at 2% grade that you need to be ADA. So in some areas, it can just be the ramp, some areas you have to go back 5 or 6 flags to make the slopes work correctly. So we're doing all that.
I don't know.
But the thing is, as I always say, we're correcting it now. So we try not to look too far back. We don't have any.
More of a current concern at the little park on A Street and 3rd Avenue. And I don't know when they got there, but I noticed them this morning. And maybe there is room at where the way the sidewalk is designed to have it right at the park. But I feel like the recycle bin would make sense at the park instead.
Constant battle. And a perfect example is south of the lake. Especially like after, because we have ground staff that work throughout the weekend, so it's like
Really help you with that campaign.
they're cleaning a lot. They do a cleaning effort because it's usually
Yeah.
a goal project.
But people just throw their stuff out the window, but everything's just, yeah. So all right, fine. I'll take it for 3 seconds. And
And the sad part is sometimes they're not just sitting down and they don't think about it. They just
they don't care. They don't give a
go
look.
to New York stoplight. This is on King and Congress.
Yeah.
And the car in front of us, one of just rolls down and they just throw a full Wendy's. Just walk up there. And I grabbed the Wendy's bag and he rolled over and he like just kind of took it back. I'm like, but I mean, just the fact.
How does somebody
Right
think
on
that's
the street.
okay? So, but I think really with some marketing practices.
Well,
Well, the
Jamie's
thing
already
is,
participating in the
Christine over
campaign.
at our recycling group, she's fantastic. And it's always,
Like, get just the
But it's so hard to
outlandish.
it is
Not
hard
the
to catch.
police are on the, there's so many things that you need, the guy that just screamed down J Street.
Right? Well, like inspiring people and
Yeah,
educating people. I think
It's really the
people
only
have
way
to-
is to inspire when it comes to things like that.
More
You're
like
not gonna-
preventative measures.
You're not going to
Yeah.
prevent all of it.
Here's all of our messaging. And she does a lot of initiatives. She does a lot of work with all the elementary schools and everything. She's at all our city events. She puts a tent up. And so she's been really good at really.
We target our after school programs because we know that the kids will teach their parents. You know,
Yep.
like,
So we'll see as a single.
Or
Or
the
the
ones
ones who are just hanging out, nothing that.
Our parks are, it's still unblessed. Nothing good is going on there. People out there, they basically run off. Start moving. Oh, yeah.
There's only so much.
That no, we just know you have people who have the parks are free.
But I think the idea, and I've talked with the city manager, and we've thought about the online lights, or fighting the community, and here's some things.
Oh, yeah.
Recycles in, who's gonna sort it?
And that's what happens a lot of the time,
Yeah.
that people don't think about is that, you know, a lot of times, a perfect example, you know, we used to have single street recycling. Our contamination rate, the solid waste authority, ended up going to solid waste to a point where they just weren't going to do it anymore. We didn't have a choice. I don't know if you recall, wasn't the yellow, wasn't the blue, but a lot of the bands in the park, and like you mentioned, Commissioner, was just, you know, wrappers or.
I'll do it with my neighbor's bins when I go out, but I can't see our staff
But again, it comes down to
There's some, they said for having the trash, yeah, it's not gonna pass, we're gonna call that car, or hey, the food will take it and it's.
They have no two recycling things, but,
One for paper, one
that's a
for
good point.
plastic.
How do we deal?
glass and stuff like that. Is
People just don't have
putting paper in the bar, so
Sure, we could do an educational campaign.
hands-on learning there.
Yeah,
because she
absolutely.
does a lot with the schools too. Like she's gone to elementary schools, she does the games with the kids, where she gives them the bins and containers and everything. So she's been pretty active with the schools too. So,
Yeah,
and she's very, very enthusiastic when it comes to recycling.
Association of the streets, and we, I know like a couple of volunteers picked up a lot of cigarettes. Like we cleaned up the tropical, the exercise, the fitness volunteers picked that up. And
So
because we
Good. So you go through
we
that.
contact as the
You know, so
Carmel
if we do it through SWA.
somewhere it was.
Yeah.
So
I am part of Lucerne, and I have a meeting tomorrow. I with them. Yeah. A neighbor, a good neighbor. So, and I used to live for 10 years in a city. So this city was so good news. Yeah.
I want people to feel proud. I mean, it doesn't mean enough, but when you drive by, you go, oh, they just took, how do we get folks, like that environment, like, obviously, if it's in the school, but you're part of our society, and we're going to push that, teaching people how to be a good citizen here, because you don't know what you don't know.
Right, and it's a lot of organizing. So
Yeah.
I think the beach should stay up organizing in Concord because
More
it's dirt, right? And so we have to go into the homes and educate them that you can't just throw your banana peels on the floor, you can't just throw your apples on the floor because you know that it's gonna work like that here. So a lot of it is education, and so we can organize a good
Yeah,
campaign and just educate the people.
Something that I never did this many years ago, we would go in with grease and the firehouse, and it was frightening.
Yeah, a lot of it is.
And then
Anything else?
One final comment that is in September, 7 volunteers last year we gave that definite, the don't get the event.
Sorry.
We'll be there from 9 to Thursday.
You have it on your website listed?
Yeah, it's called